Hello and welcome to our final video. Finally, we'll talk about management. I want to first talk about really the importance of setting yourself up for great management. Because if you check out that Dilbert cartoon, not even the boss suddenly turning a 180 and becoming an awesome leader, it won't save the situation. Check it out. There's no comfortable environment because the worker feels unmotivated and challenged in Dilbert. Dilbert thinks the project will ultimately fail, doesn't have a shared vision, so no curriculum. And all the assessment the boss has is asking, hey, how's the project coming along? Good? Good. So again, it's great to be a good manager, but you can't have it in a vacuum. It needs to be supported by the other elements. But in turn, it also supports the other elements. If you properly manage instruction, then students will feel more comfortable. If you walk around the classroom taking notes on student progress, that's an informal formative assessment. So I know I sound like a broken record. I can't stress enough how important the interplay between these 5 categories is. So let's talk about the neuroscience behind being an awesome manager. Specifically, you want your students in a state of relaxed alertness. And that kind of has something to do with the zone of proximal development, where they feel challenged but motivated and secure. You want students to feel relaxed, but you also want them to be taking the work seriously. Now, you definitely want them alert, but if their bloodstream is shot through with cortisol, their fight or flight instinct will take over, and you won't be able to reach them for them to create complex thinking, as we've discussed in prior videos. And when you combine proper management with the other elements, particularly curriculum, you're going to have increased problem-solving performance. Specifically because the conditions are set up for students to succeed, and you'll be working with students to have them self-reflect on how they're doing, and also observe them depending on their skill level. So how do we apply this in the English classroom? Well, got a couple good ideas. The idea behind learning cups is that students have 3 options. They can put a red cup in if they have no idea what they're doing and they're lost. That's a signal to me that I need to go over as the teacher to help them. A yellow cup means, well, I'm kind of struggling, but I think I can work it out with my teammates. And a green cup means, Mr. Hatfield, I am good to go. I'm working and I'm challenged. Now again, it's really tempting here to just swoop in and solve students' problems for them, particularly if they have a red cup. But if they're noting what information they need, they're empowered enough to find their own solutions. Whether that's going to resources in the classroom, whether that's driving towards that main goal, or it's you properly encouraging them to grow. And that's really the key here of managing a classroom. If you just instruct students, they'll get information. But if you manage them, and you inspire them, and you make them commit to a vision, heck, they're going to work a heck of a lot harder. Not because you're manipulating them, but because they bought into your system. They think, you know what, this teacher really wants me to learn, and I'm motivated by the content. All right. Additionally, you can have synthesis groups during small group discussions. Get students talking with each other and to be more familiar. Look for the more detailed description of synthesis groups in the course handout. And again, as I mentioned, I would recommend designing group work that uses resources correctly in the classroom. Again, this is where environment comes in. So to wrap up here, if you're going to manage your class properly, you need to inspire students. You need to keep them in a state of relaxed alertness, and you need to allow them to assess what they're struggling with. Because true learning is something I've really picked up, and I want to really make clear here. It has to happen when you're pushing yourself and you don't have an immediate answer. You mull over an idea. You have theories that don't work out, but you're constantly working to figure something out. And again, based on that growth-based model we've talked about, let that be the impetus and the background for your management style. And we'll wrap up here. Going back to the article we had in instruction. Now, it's interesting how he says schema-based teaching benefits students. And I want you to think how differentiated instruction, how that influence management helps students absorb and apply complex information. And I know we didn't specifically talk about this, but he argues that his teaching style prepares students for later in life. Why would modern students be best served by a flexible, dynamic classroom management? Is it something about the workplace? Is it something about society? Is it something just about the way we live now in the 21st century? So please reflect on those questions. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you here through these videos. And good luck installing differentiated instruction in your classroom.